Hello, everyone. The Tournament of Kings is a show that I've been wanting to go watch for a very long time. Ever since I was a kid, actually, when the Excalibur first opened. Finally, after many, many years of waiting, I got a chance to go and check it out for myself. My first impression is that it's basically a similar show to Medieval Times Dinner and Tournament, which has many locations throughout the US. I personally visited the one in Buenapark, California, and the one in Orlando, Florida, and the shows are very similar. However, this is still Las Vegas, so I do feel like they try their best to cater to a more adult theme audience. But don't get me wrong, it's not really like an adult show. It's just more high impact since they use pyro, and I feel like the use of the dancing sequences with the ladies just makes it a little bit more sexy, but not too sexy. Think of it like watching Shrek. It's a cartoon for kids, but there's some elements in there that adults can appreciate. That's how I feel about this show. That's where it's a little bit more different than Medieval Times, where I feel like Medieval Times is more kid based. Yes, an adult can enjoy it, but I feel like this one, with the pyro and the ladies doing the dancing, it's a little bit more high energy. I feel like the food in Tournament of Kings was a little bit more bland. Also, if you saw the chicken that I showed you earlier in these shots, half my chicken was cooked, very dried, and the other half was just white and more like boiled because the way they cooked the chicken, all the juices that the chicken just laid on, just gave it a more boiled cook than a baked cook to it, if that makes any sense to you. Half of it was dry, and the other half was just like if it was boiled. You know, it also half is white, and the other side is dark. That's not, that's not something I want. That's not my personal taste. And it could have had a little bit more spice. The one in Medieval Times is just half a chicken. At least here they give you a full chicken. But since they don't have to flip it over, I guess that's why it tastes a little better. It's more evened out in the cook. The potatoes were pretty also dry and not warm at all. The bread felt a little bit stale. The corn was actually good, and the pastry was also good flavor. However, it was not crispy or hot, like the one they usually serve you in Medieval Times. Um, Neither one of these places you go for the food. I understand that. Both places is just a dinner show, so you're not going to expect the Michelin star dinner here. But I do feel like they could have put a little bit more effort into the food itself. Maybe they had a bad day. I don't know. This is my first time that I've been here, so I can't really judge it by the one time that I've been here. I've been many, many times at Medieval Times, and the food's basically been consistent. It's always been basically the same. But maybe they had a bad day. I don't know. Maybe I'll try to go back one of these days and just, for the sake of comparing the food, do it again. But we'll see. Would I recommend this place? Yes, actually, I would. If you're in Vegas, you have your kids, this is a good show for them to watch. The whole family can enjoy this show. For the same price of watching a show, a mid tier show in Las Vegas, you basically get dinner and the show. When I visited here with my friends and my wife, we all had a good time. You just gotta remember, this is an interactive show. So the best way to enjoy this show is when you participate. Cheer for your night, clap, make noise, and be fully engaged. And hopefully your night will win at the end. We got lucky and we actually ended up winning. At Medieval Times, usually you know when somebody's gonna win. If there's a big crowd of people, either a big family, big group, or maybe a company ended up buying a section for their employees, then you already know that that side's gonna win. They're gonna be the loudest, and also they're the ones that bought the most tickets in the show. So there's always a good chance that that section is gonna win. At least that's been my personal experience in Medieval Times. I feel like this place will probably follow the same type of model. The more people that are cheering in one section, either because you're in a big group or you get lucky and you're just in a section that's very loud, then most likely your night is the one that's going to win. So always participate and always be loud, because that's the way you win. The show will be fun. The food will just be average, but the fun you have with your friends or family is what really counts when you come to this show, or any show that's similar to this. I hope that you enjoyed this video and it helped you on if this show should be part of your Vegas itinerary for your Vegas vacation next time you go. Again, thank you for watching. I appreciate all of you. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.